Hello everyone, this is JO1 here, and today we are going to be doing not really a review, but more of a comparison between these two clone figures from Demoniacal Fit, the Tenacious Martialist, aka this is their clone of the event-exclusive Ultra Instinct Sign Goku with a few extra bells and whistles, such as the most obvious one being the Super Saiyan Blue head sculpt, as well as an extra Jiren head and a display stand, which we'll get to in a moment. Now, I do plan on doing an individual review of this guy somewhere down the line, but for now, I just want to show a little differences. And upon first glance, you might be thinking, well, what's the difference between these two? I'm just looking at the same figure just twice, you know. But the difference is that this on the left here is the original 2020 release, well, one of them actually. The very first print of it had flesh-colored butterfly joints. This one actually has the blue ones, which looks way better in my opinion. But and then this one is the newest 2022 reissue of the same figure. Now, there are a few minor differences, and no, they're not just production differences between, you know, the same figure. There actually are some key differences. So, without further ado, let's move the figures out of the way for now. We'll take a look at the packaging, because the packaging is pretty cool in my opinion. I really do like how it looks. You know, you got this is Tenacious Martialist on there. Now, the easiest way to tell if yours is an original, it will say, I don't know if you could see right there, it will say Demoniacal Fit 2020 compared to the new one, which says 2021 in the corner, which is oddly enough, this came out this year rather than last year. And then also, it might be hard to tell on camera, but the new one looks like it's a little bit more faded, honestly. The background of the red and then the blue shadow Goku picture does look a little bit faded by comparison. And then also on the top, the new one actually says Tenacious Martialist on it, whereas the original one was blank. Other than that, though, pretty much the same. Again, just the newer one looks slightly faded, almost as if it was left out in the sun for a few hours. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll open them up and look at we'll get into the nitty-gritty of it in a little bit. But for now, let's just look at the main figure. Now, we're also going to compare it with the official Ultra Instinct Sign Goku, which I'm sure by now, you know, you do a little research on Demoniacal Fit's version, you already kind of know what the differences are. So the main one being the skin color on the chest above the shirt is a little bit off on Demoniacal Fit. It might be hard to tell on camera, but it definitely blends in a lot better on the official one rather than the clone one, which is to be expected. And then also with the Ultra Instinct head itself, there's more of like a gradient, like bluish white put into the hair, whereas the other one is the Demoniacal Fit is kind of just a metallic. We'll get more into that later. And then well, that's mainly just the aesthetics. Other than that, it's very much pretty much the same. So we'll come back to the Sign Goku in a little bit when we look at the sign heads. So the main thing, honestly, is the new one, the reissue, does feel a little bit heavier. The plastic is definitely improved, I guess. This one feels a little bit lighter. Not necessarily cheap, because it's still a very great figure. And then the main thing is the legs, which might be... The legs are a little bit looser on this one, on the official one. Well, not the official, the original. This one doesn't really have that problem. In fact, I think it has the opposite problem, which you'll see in a moment. So, this is the original. The joints are tight, but not too tight, except for maybe in the neck, which we'll get to in a moment. And also, this is worth mentioning, when trying to do the splits, it does get caught on the little leg cover quite often, which is a shame, but you know, you could work around it and it'll work just fine. So the joints are tight, some are tighter than others, but not enough to hinder any mobility or playability with it. Now with the new one, these are both pretty much brand new, by the way. That's all I need to say. I don't even need to say anything about that. The new one is extremely tight, like to the point where everything squeaks. Like even the bicep squeaks a little bit. The legs are the worst. My phone just went off. The legs are the worst example of this. So definitely you're going to want to heat this up, put some silicone oil. I just got this out of the box today, so I didn't get to do all that yet. And then, so that's pretty much it in terms of the quality. So it's still good. It's still a very good quality figure. It's just the new reissue is way too tight in my opinion, like almost to the point where I'm afraid I'm gonna break it if I move something in the wrong way. And that was the thing with the original as well, with the head, which we'll get to now. So we'll look at the face. The hair is pretty much the same. It's the copy of the Broly movie, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, just with a little bit brighter blue, which I do prefer actually. I like the brighter blue. But the face is actually a little bit different. You might be able to tell. This is the original again on the left, and then on the right is the reissue from this year. See, I don't know, something about the paint looks a little bit different on the new one. Looks a little bit cheaper, honestly. The original looked much more closer to an official Figure Arts Goku. And I do quite prefer this one, actually. I prefer the original. I'll just get that out of the way now. But I do like how they tried to fix some of the QC issues that existed with the original, with, you know, mainly the loose joints, and they tried to improve the quality of the plastic. It's just, you do need to heat this thing up, which actually I feel like you should do regardless of which version you got, because the blue head is a little bit too tight on the neck joint. We'll take off the face as well, just to show you. It's still clear plastic. I don't want to mix these up. Still clear plastic, although this one, again, looks a little more clear. I think they might have cheapened out on the heads, to be honest. Like, compared to they might have just blown the budget on the body, because it's still the same price. It's still a $50 figure, which honestly is way better than dropping almost $200 on the official Sign Goku. But so yeah, you know, if you don't mind, if you get a good copy, then it shouldn't be too big of a deal. But I'll go more into this on my official review of this guy, which I'll probably be using the older one for the purposes of the review. But yeah, so what I would recommend doing, heat up the head before trying to switch them, because it's a little too tight on the neck peg and you could risk snapping the joint. Speaking from experience here, I had to use a spare Goku neck joint to fix this guy, actually. And then I had to widen the hole a little bit on the blue head to make the switching a little more seamless. So that's pretty much it for the blue Super Saiyan Blue head. So a little bit different paint job on the face. We'll show that more with the actual faces. But the main thing is the body. The new one is very, very tight, but it does feel a little bit higher quality, closer to Figure Arts. So now we'll take it out of the clamshell. We'll show you more nitty-gritty of the differences. The hands are pretty much the same, so I won't really go over that too much. Same thing with the Jiren head. The Jiren head doesn't feel any different in quality or paint job. So bear with me. I'm just going to be unboxing everything. I'll keep it in the back just so you can see. Now, I'm going to lay them down here. Hopefully they stay and they can fit on a little base here. Alright, that should be good. So again, original on the left, new one on the right. So the hand's pretty much the same. Here is the sign faces. Very, very good. Very, very clean looking. The Jiren head, Super Saiyan Blue heads. Again, very, very clean. On the new one, there's the sign head, the faces, hopefully focus comes back, and the blue faces. I think the most notable thing, to be honest, we'll take them off the little thing here. Just pick the smirking face for the Super Saiyan Blue, just to compare. I won't do, I might do each one individually. So, again, you might be able to see, it's hard to, I don't know why it's not focusing. You could kind of see it's a little bit different. I think they used a lighter color for the outline around the eyes and the mouth. It's a lighter, like, pinkish color compared to this one, but I actually prefer the original. It looks more authentic. This one kind of looks more bootleggy, which I don't like, because Demoniacal Fit, I hate to refer to them as bootlegs because I like they're mainly like third party. Bootlegs, I usually use like that term for like those cheap, like not like $30 knockoffs that fall apart on you. So it's very minimal, to be honest. Like, you might not be able to tell, but there are differences. It's hard to get the point across when you're not holding the figure in hand. But when you definitely hold the two in hand, you can see the difference. And I think they might have actually used a lighter skin color slightly on the new one. That might be what's different. But here's the yelling face. And then for the sign heads, this is actually where you might notice a difference in the sign faces. So again, original on the left, reissue on the right. So if you don't notice, the eyes, the eyes were, I think, a little bit too higher, slightly higher placed on the official one. Not the official, the original, I keep saying that. Compared to the official one, this one actually looks closer to the official one. So the sign head, I think, is actually a little bit better on the original. And we'll take a closer look at them when we compare it to the official one. The official Figure Arts one. The iconic eyes closed. Not too much different there. And then teeth grid. Not too bad. Not too hard to tell the difference. And last but not least, the yelling face. So I think they fixed the eyes on the new one. The eyes, especially on the stern face, like the standard, like regular stern face. So let's get these clamshells out of the way. So I could compare. I'll compare them more. I'll take the sign heads out. So here are the two heads. I would do a head swap, but like I said, I would recommend heating up the figure before doing that. I could do it on my original one. The original is a little bit easier to work with because I switched the neck peg and then I made the hole a little bit wider on the blue head. There you go. So this is the original first print Demoniacal Fit Ultra Instinct sign. And then here's the new one. I'm not going to bother switching the head because it's really tight. All the joints are really tight. I wonder if you could hold his head. Oop, there goes Sign Goku. No, forget it. Okay, so with the original, they are different faces, but you could see the paint on the hair, the finish. It's not bad on the Demoniacal Fit, but the original definitely has a more like intricate, like when the light reflects off of it and everything. And compared to this one, again, you could see that on the new reissue they made the eyes a little bit lower, which is more accurate. I don't have that face on hand, but I do have the box for the official Sign Goku. You could compare maybe from pictures. Apologies, so unprofessional. But whatever, it's my first like toy review in God knows how long, so you know, bear with me. The head just actually came off the original Demoniacal Fit Goku. You could hear the squeaking. See, that's on the original too. The original already had tight joints to begin with, but they made them even tighter on the reissue. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty much with these. We'll look at the stands. Even though the stands are pretty much the same. With my original, I was lucky. I got the 4-star ball. The same quality. It's not cheap. It's not flimsy. On the new one, I got the 2-star ball. They are random. Which star number you get, but yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Is just to give you a little comparison, because I got this one, the new one, from Toy Arena. I think that's the only place you can really get it now, because I don't think Omnime has it. I think 5K Toys might have them in stock now, so that's why I'd recommend getting it. But in my honest opinion, I would try, if you can, to get an original, because I think overall the faces on the blue, Super Saiyan Blue Goku faces look a lot better. And just overall, it's much easier to work with when it comes to posing. Yeah, he does like to do the splits a little bit every now and again, but that's not too big of a deal. Like, look, I got him standing perfectly fine. The overly tight joints on this one that feel like, honestly, it's going to break if you move it the wrong way, and the cheaper looking quality on the faces and the hair, that's kind of a no-no in my opinion. That's kind of a little bit disappointing, but I think they mainly just re-released it because of consumer demand. You know, some people might have missed out on the original first run of this figure, because Demoniacal doesn't work much different from Figure Arts. You know, once their stuff sells out, that's pretty much it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video too. So if you can, I would recommend getting an original print of the Demoniacal Fit Goku, or even better, just get the official Sign Goku. I know that's easier said than done for most people because of how pricey he goes. Not to say, I mean, I know it might just sound like I'm knocking the reissue. It's basically the same figure. It's just some slight aesthetic differences and really tight joints. But other than that, it's pretty much the same figure. I would recommend any of these guys, whichever one you could get your hands on. But preferably, if you can't get the official, get the original first print of the Sign Goku. That's what I recommend. Well, Tenacious Martialist. That's what I recommend. So, till next time, I'm going to be reviewing this guy more in depth and do a solo review on him. You get my full thoughts, even though I kind of just gave them here. But that's pretty much it. Till the next video, guys. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe for more. This is SHF UI signing off. Peace out, guys.